The Edmonton Oilers 7-game road trip continues to move on tonight. Game 3 of 7, stopping in Raleigh, North Carolina, with the regular season darling Carolina Hurricanes, as I like to call them, Canes, on the second half of a back-to-back, while the Oilers got a full day of rest yesterday, and tonight will be joined by an old friend in one Zachary Martin Hyman, making his season debut for the Edmonton Oilers. Hallelujah. Zach is back, baby, as we get set for Oilers Canes, Canes Oilers. But hello and welcome to Pregaming with Bordzy, which is always presented by Bet365. Download the app today, because whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Tonight, I am joined by producer extraordinaire, co-host extra. Yeah, right. Fair.
I've never been called an extraordinaire. That's great.
You're right. Hand up. Good producer, excellent co-host, my pal, Brett Holden. Hey, you're getting the Brett and Bordzy show tonight, full on. How we doing, Bert?
Good. We didn't have to downsize after you said that, though. You could have just kept it. No, great. It's been a crazy Saturday, long Saturday, but it's going to be a good Saturday. I'm excited for tonight's game.
Excellent sports night. Been watching college football all day. We get the Oilers. We get some UFC later on tonight. And we, of course, are down here at Dogpatch, where I know me and Brett have been discussing this, and I'm sure the chat's going to be along for the ride.
Yeah.
How many beers can Brett and I drink in 60 minutes here on Pregaming? Staying true to the name. We've got 2 right here. We have instructed them the moment it's done to refill them back up. We know the service we get in Dogpatch, so cheers at home. It's Saturday. You're Pregaming with Bordzy and Bert. Look at my boy go. I need to play a little bit of catch-up.
Dogpatch beers are great. Chris.
That hits Chris. Come on down. As you guys all know, we're going to be down here all season long. Always keep it locked on social media, because I believe we're here on tonight, Monday, not Wednesday, but Thursday we're going to be here again. And I live my life 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time, frankly, 1 fucking hour at a time. So don't ask me anything past that, but Brett's going to be here. I'm going to be here. Come on down tonight. Bert, we're getting the meatball sub tonight, correct?
Oh, yeah. Again, Talon Banger. Banger is just the
He's older and wiser.
Yeah, he has a great taste in food. He had recently, before that, had gotten
raised beef.
Well, no, even before, like, right before our dinner, he got food poisoning. He's like, guys, don't get this. He gets this food. You know, if Banger's recommending it, it's good food. Yeah, no, I am so excited. Also, Backyard Burgers says 7.5.
How many beers we can get done?
Yeah, that's nuts.
Hey, don't try and put me in a cage. You see what I can do. We're gonna drink our way out of this. Austin's in, first comment of the day. He put one earlier. He made sure to DM me to make sure that I saw it. Austin, I love you. I believe you, of course. And he's in and he says, Bordzy, boom, 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 boom. Fire up this fucking band, baby. The rest of you, check your pulse, bring the vibes, chill your bevies. Let's dig in and get to work. Lance Kane is in. Says, one day I hope to party like Jack Hughes. We'll get into that in just a minute. Hand up. I may have jinxed the well, I guess it had already happened by the time I said it on Oilers Nation every day, but
crazy timing still.
This guy loves getting injured, and now in the weirdest possible ways. After great starts to the season, MVP caliber starts. Nope, not going to get it. Southpaw, he's in, and he says, I tried wearing the jeans for the guys last game. It's currently plus 11 degrees, so it's shorts tonight. Shorts for the distance Hyman loves to score from. Brett, hit it. He says, see the last track. Let's go, Oilers. You know my boy, Brett. Ready to go. Fighting Amish says, poor Troy Stetcher. I'm sorry that you are a Leaf, bud. Pour one out for our old homie. Just kidding.
Just all over.
You just go.
No!
Vaderton says, how we feeling? I think Brett and I are feeling pretty good. Nick says it. I only got to watch it today, but Tyler's 30-second breakdown of every single NHL team was absolute cinema. He said it was broadcasting at its absolute finest. Pleasure to listen to. Oil up, baby. Let's fucking go.
You could tell by Team 20, he's like, oh, man.
Yeah, he's like, how many more do we still have to go? We also said before the show, we were like, great way to kill 16 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Great way.
Oh, yeah. I felt bad for Capri sitting there when she was sitting there at, like, Detroit. Hey, we got about 28 left.
We got more. We got more to go. Christie's in. We saw a high Bordzy. Christie's in. Says Hyman with a heart. N23, how does it feel to jinx this poor Jack Hughes guy? Feels hilarious. Honestly, I don't feel bad in the slightest. It had already happened before I had said it because what a dinner. And then we got a super chat, which reminder, all of your super chats are in support of the Ben Stelter Foundation because it does incredible things for families going through very hard times. And it's Flaparto, who I got to meet in Vancouver.
Cool.
And he says, drip by, wait for it. I'm going to keep waiting for it until he gives me another super chat. Southpaw says, drip. Brett, give me a bark.
These people in Dogpatch we're not ready for this.
They don't know what's about to hit them. Also, I'm taking the over on Bordzy's beers plus 220. Parlayed it with the Oilers money line. Insert bet 365.
What's the line at? 5.5
for this show?
For you?
For me personally, not 5.5. I got to do way too much talking. I'll get
for
3
you.
done. I'll get 3 done in the 60 minutes.
2.5 is the line.
And then we'll get going. But before we get started, I guess let's talk about some news that is Oilers related and also around the NHL, because say goodbye, our old friend Troy Stecher has been claimed off waivers by the Toronto Maple Leafs of all teams. Yuck.
They just want our old scraps.
They do. They really do. It's get back for Hyman. It's definitely get
the
back.
Toronto Oilers.
Obviously, Troy Stecher was placed on waivers yesterday at noon. It was a necessary move in order for the Oilers to squeeze Zach Hyman back into the salary cap picture. We had debated it. Should it be Alec Regula? Should it be Troy Stecher? I understand the debate, but the Oilers brass seems very committed to Alec Regula, a la the reason they gave him a 2-year contract the moment they claimed him off waivers last season. I hate it for Stetch. I understand the move. It needed to happen. The one thing about it, right, is the Oilers, they lose their number 8 defenseman. You can say that, which right now is not a tough pill to swallow, obviously. Knock on wood. That could be something that could, come back to bite you in the ass a little bit later on, because we know Troy Stecher. He's been a serviceable spot start kind of guy. We even thought he might be the nurse whisperer. Hand up. We were dead ass wrong about that one. But, hey, it's also going to depend on the development here of Alec Regula and what we find that we have in him. But the Oilers, I just think they didn't totally have a choice. They seem committed to Regula. He's more of the big-sized defenseman. I would have kept Stetch, I think. But, hey, it is what it is at this point. Troy Stecher in his career finishes with 79 regular season games, 8 playoff games as well. I look back on the Stecher era very fondly. You say it's like if you love something, set it free. Maybe if it's meant to be, it'll find its way back to you. I hope that Stetch finds a permanent home in Toronto. The guy, for being kind of passed around the NHL a little bit, has played over 500 games, and another team wants him at this stage of his career. Thoughts on Stetch saying goodbye to our friend?
I think this was the wrong decision. I made it very clear last game how I felt about Alec Regula. I thought that should have been his final game as an Edmonton Oiler. I think that he was just dreadful and he's done nothing for me the first couple of games. And again, he played 2 games officially before he got injured.
Then he got dropped.
And nailed twice by Vander Kane. He was very susceptible to getting hit, and it eventually ended in an injury for him. He was doing fine before that, and since he's come back, he has just been invisible. Normally for a defenseman, and we say this a lot, that's fine. You don't want to notice a defensive defenseman.
Your third pairing defensive defenseman.
They're doing the right thing. Alec Regula just has done nothing that has been positive quietly. But then, I just can't get over the play that he made along the boards in that last game right at the blue line. He looked like a midget AA, the worst defenseman on the team that's only on the team because the parents are buying the big bucks. And they're going, hey, coach,
Zach Hyman.
Hey,
Zach Hyman.
Hey, oh. But at least Zach Hyman made it to the next level, and this kid would not. Something just fell behind us, I think. But I just think this was the wrong decision. Troy Stecher has the rapport with the organization, with some of the other defensemen on the team. I know we talk about being the nurse whisperer and all this and that, and with a little tongue-in-cheek to it. But there is a little truth to it as well. He is, you mentioned, 500-game veteran. He's been able to step into situations. And he said in the playoffs last year, people, I remember the questions going, are you upset that you're not getting games? And he's like, oh, no.
Do whatever I need to do for the team to win.
I want to win a Stanley Cup. so-and-so is a better defenseman than me. Let him
He
play.
knew he'd get his moment eventually. He played 8 playoff games last season for the Oilers.
Yep.
It's sad to me because, once again, like Regula, there's potential there. There could be future development. But with Stetch, he was just kind of good old reliable. Your 7th, 8th defenseman, whatever you want. And I see a lot of people in the chat fighting homage to Stetch was depth that we will miss. Dude Guy 777 says he was good, serviceable depth. Exactly, Southpaw. I will remember. Oh, yeah. I looked up photos of Troy Stetcher today, and then this popped up. So we threw a little gone, but never forgotten for our pals in Tony Stetch and one Connor Brown. And then the other news around the NHL, we touched on it. Jack Hughes, this is just kind of hilarious, dude, because he goes out to a team dinner on Thursday night. We all know Jack Hughes, the history. The dude loves getting injured. He loves having hot starts to the NHL season. It's his favorite thing. Prove me wrong,
Writes
Jack.
about it in his diary.
Prove me wrong. And there he is at a team dinner on Thursday night where I guess allegedly he cut his hand so bad that yesterday he underwent surgery to repair his finger. The estimated timeline, 6 to 8 weeks. 6 weeks, he'll then be reevaluated to get back in. There's a lot of ways to get hurt during the NHL season. I did not know that going to dinner was going to be one of those that led to that for Jack Hughes. For all futures bettors, a la Tyler Yaremchuk. I need that in our milk mile bet we got going on. But Jack Hughes, what a story. And then if you tuned into ONE yesterday, the timing was impeccable of me chirping Hughes and saying, is he hurt yet? Oh, I'm sure that'll be coming any minute. Tyler, I left the office. He, 20 minutes, 15 minutes after I left, immediately texted me the news. You, seconds later, immediately text me the news. Lance Kane immediately DMs me the news. I'm like, yeah, man, this is hilarious. Hilarious. Brett, the other hilarious thing is about Frank the Tank. I'll spare the viewers at home about the story of Frank the Tank. He's got the worst luck for sports you could ever imagine. There's even a photo here that I thought I got online for what this says, Chicago cut with the whole team out at dinner on Thursday. That's a premonition. I can't believe it, Brett. I kind of laughed. I still kind of laugh. Feel bad for the guy, but just step away from it. The hilarity of this whole situation, of us predicting it, it's wild.
It's the irony of everything. It's the irony of you sitting there in the show yesterday going, has he been hurt yet? And it's a fair statement because Jack Hughes, almost called him Jack Quinn, like he's the better Jack. Jack Hughes always finds a way to get injured. It sucks because, again, like you said, like he is always able to mount an MVP type start to every season that he plays because he is a very good player. But then he gets hurt, and it just sucks because you want to see players. Like, I really like Jack Hughes. I really like Jack.
I like his attitude and his interviews, everything. He seems like a great dude.
A very, like, he's so different from his brother.
He's got some swag. He's got some personality.
Man, it's so strange seeing the difference between Quinn looks like he's on the brink of a mental.
Do that again one more time. Yeah, okay, keep going.
And he looks like he's going to cry, and fair enough, he's in Vancouver.
Yeah, I would too.
No, it's just, I mean, the irony of the entire situation, you can get a little laugh at, but at the same time, you can be sad and upset and disappointed for a guy who just seems to always find a way to miss time throughout a season.
Pour one out for Jack, pour one out for Troy Stetcher. But tonight, you know who's back? Well, Zach is back. It's the return of Zachary Martin Hyman. He's been a full-time children's author for the last 3 to 4 months. Oh, look at that service, Brett. Got catch up.
Oh, Zach, I'm trying to find it. I'm so happy Zach's back.
One down, but he's back tonight. So he fractured his wrist back on May 27th in Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals against the Dallas Stars. He's going to make his first appearance. Shut up, Bob Stauffer did the math. 172 days. It's been a long journey for Hyman. Obviously, it's taken months to get to this point. But to have to watch your team lose in the Stanley Cup Finals after getting all the way to Game 7 of the Cup Finals the year before, we know that's tough. The expected timeline, we were always told, was going to be November 1st. So, Brett, November 15th, all things considered, Nobby didn't lie to us that much, but I appreciate that. Hey, I'll give 2 weeks. 2 weeks isn't that bad.
Yeah.
He spoke to the media earlier this morning, talking about the long process coming back from injury. I think we have it in here as well. For me personally, let's go with we'll go with the second one in just a second. I just got to say, thank fuck that Zach is back, because I think his style of play is exactly what the Edmonton Oilers so desperately miss right now. A guy that lives in the middle of the ice. There's no nonsense with him. He can play with skilled players. He's always driving the middle of the net. He owns the blue paint in front of the net. He's a guy who doesn't shy away from contact. And we saw a different version of Zach Hyman in the NHL playoffs last season. Now, I don't fully expect him to get to that, especially game one after you've missed an entire training camp, the entire start of the season here. But I think that lunch pail, hard hat attitude that Zach Hyman brings is kind of exactly what the doctor ordered for the Edmonton Oilers. He spoke to Tony Brar earlier today he asked Zach about his assessment of the Edmonton Oilers and how they've been playing without him, and then what he can do to help the team.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of room for improvement. I think that's the consensus amongst the guys, the group. We have a great group. First and foremost, great group. There you go, there's Stu. Great group of guys, great mix of guys, veterans and younger guys. But I think that we can take a step, and I think it's time for us to start playing the way that we know we can.
What areas of the game do you feel like this group can take a major step in right now?
I think protecting the slot. I think our goalies have had to face too many high danger chances, and then making it harder on their D and their goalies, getting into the net, going to those greasy areas. So excited to be able to bring some of that.
Protect the slot, make it harder on their goalies and their D, and get in the dirty areas. That's is music to my ears. Bert, what do you expect from Zach Hyman in his return? Zach is back.
Well, obviously you're putting Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman together. I love the line that they have with Matt Savoy. I always want to say Carter Savoy. I always want to go with the OG. With Matt Savoy, I really think, because they had Andrew Mangiapane on that first line. And while I know that a lot of people have scrutinized Andrew Mangiapane, I've been kind of Mangiapane's supporter. I think he's done a lot of things well, but I also agree with Tyler on a couple of the goals there where he has been a major cog in some
He's cost
goals
them some
against.
goals. He's cost them some goals. Direct turnovers.
But Zach Hyman fills that gap. Like the issues and the things that Andrew Mangiapane doesn't bring to that first line with Savoy and McDavid, Zach Hyman brings and more. And so I think that's where you're going to really sit there and realize how much you've missed Zach Hyman and into this lineup. And we've already seen the kind of stuff that Leon Draisaitl has done with Jack Roslovic and Vasily Podkolzin as well. At times recently, basically every time they're together, they're the Oilers' best line on the ice. Now you get two full lines where you can sit there and go, not only is this the best line on the team, this is the best line in the game between the two teams, and then you can add that second line as well. So it just, Zach Hyman just, again, rounds out this team as a veteran, as a guy who knows his organization, as a guy we all know who can play with number 97 and succeed and play well and drive play for the team. He's also very physical and can be very physical, will win those battles, and having a little guy like the Matt Savoy who can win battles too. He just gets in there, those little spots. It's going to be a great line to watch.
I'm curious to see the chemistry that Matt Savoy and Zach Hyman can build here, because we know it. We watched the last two games from Matthew Savoy have been his best in the NHL, and now you throw a dude that just knows how to play hockey the right way. That's simply who Zach Hyman is. Backyard Burger says that first line should be buzzing tonight. Southpaw said Hyman calling out the soft house coverage. And I love that, because not only we know what Zach Hyman can do offensively, he does take pride in his defensive game. We saw it in the NHL playoffs. 111 hits. That dude was setting fucking records left, right, and center until he got injured, obviously, which sucks. Mr. Burns said crazy thoughts from Zach. I mean, it's the obvious thought. I like that he goes, I can live in the middle of the ice. That's a good spot for me to be. Dude guy also mentioned it's always the sweetest guy that's a maniac on the ice. 100%. 100%. They're the crazy guys. And then Jeff McDonald, can't wait to hear those sweet words from Jack tonight. That man. Zach Hyman's also going to be back on PP1 for the Edmonton Oilers. Jack Roslovic expected to keep his spot as well. So it's going to be Matt Savoy who moves back down to PP2 against a team that actually one of the few areas they aren't absolutely elite in is their penalty kill. It's the Carolina Hurricanes this evening. Who are once again at the top of the NHL standings. I believe they're currently 4th in the entire NHL. No surprises there. I believe it is since Rod Brindamore joined the Hurricanes in 1819. The only team that has more regular season wins than them are the Tampa Bay Lightning. What is one difference between the Hurricanes and the Lightning? The Hurricanes don't have any Stanley Cups. They're the regular season darlings that we all know and love. I joked with you earlier, though, and I said, man, imagine a regular season that was just smooth sailing the entire time. Must be pretty sick.
They don't have stuff entitled Oiltober where you just sit there and accept that you're going to be shit for a while. Yeah, that must be sick.
That must be dope. You see some of their stats head-to-head there against the Edmonton Oilers. They're 3.71 goals per game. Well, that ranks 3rd in the entire NHL. They're 2.88 goals against. That's 9th in the entire NHL. So both numbers top 10 there. They also rank 2nd in the NHL in shots on goal per game. Once again, 9th in shots against per game. But the one weakness, I guess you could say, of their team is their special teams, especially their power play, which shockingly enough is 31st in the entire NHL. Only team worse, the Calgary Flames. Their PK at 80%, respectable 14th in the league. But the Oilers, as you notice, are a little bit better than those Hurricanes. There is some news. It'll be a game time decision for one Seth Jarvis this evening because they played last night against the Canucks, and he took a good old-fashioned stick to the motherfucking face. Looked pretty ugly. It was 5 minutes into the game. He went down. He did not return. Rod Brindamore said, don't expect him to be out long-term or anything like that, but he's a game time decision tonight. It's Barry Kotkaniemi. He's going to be out tonight. I think he rolled his ankle last night. But Bert, the Carolina Hurricanes, they are a wagon once again. This is on the road in Raleigh. The Oilers, they're going to be in tough this evening against a team that, dude, they're even missing Jacob Slavin, and it doesn't matter. They just win hockey games. Thoughts on the matchup?
Hey, every single time that the Oilers play Carolina, it
Beer
always
two
seems
as
like-
well.
Yes. Yeah, I'm almost catch up, buddy. It seems like every single time that the Oilers play Carolina in Carolina, nice. That's exactly where I am. There seems to be a storyline that it comes out of. The Oilers play well, or this or that. Or a couple of years ago, when the Oilers got absolutely shellacked in Carolina, that was the. And what happened afterwards? So I think we kept talking about a trap game last show because you were talking about the good old Patriots. My Dodgers.
It wasn't a trap
Hold
for
on.
the Patriots.
The Dodgers won the World Series, and I still didn't talk about that more than he talked about the Patriots last show.
Because nobody wants to hear about
It's
the Dodgers.
week 9. But I think it'll be a very good matchup tonight. The Oilers and the Hurricanes, ever since 2006, have always been able to put on a good show. Great storylines, as well as two of the league's favorites to win the Stanley Cup, always for basically the last 5-6 years. So, no, I'm just excited for a game that I'm sure we're going to get a lot of storylines out of eventually.
Brett, Lisa's in the chat, and she says, are you losers having some beers tonight?
What?
I might swing by before heading downtown, but only if you're drinking beer. Otherwise, I'm driving right by. Oh, Lisa, the boys are enjoying a couple cold ones this evening. This is Pregaming with Bordzy. So we're going to be having a good time this evening. Come on down to Dogpatch. Spinner Chip said, is Hyman starting on PP1? Yes, he is. Also, is there another super chat in here? Oh, Bordzy Bars.
Oh!
Courtesy of our pal Mackay and Drive, $5 to the Ben Stelter Foundation. And he says, Hyman's fixed, back in the mix. In the crease, he's got some tricks. Stetch gone to play with dicks. Sadly, next wave is going to be picks. Cup Yicks.
Cup Yicks.
Cup Yicks. Mackay and Dry, I love you. Lisa also says, on my way. Step on it. Let's go now. Yeah, we got front and center. We got nice service here at Dogpatch. Let's go now. Need no information courtesy of Will Hawk Beef Jerky, because only the finest tasting meat products earn the Will Hawk name. Made from 100% Alberta beef, their jerky is aged, seasoned, smoked, and marinated to savory perfection. They gladly fill orders of any size, and you can find their jerky, sausage, other products exclusively out of their Leduc location. Or if Trent Wilhock ever decides to just pop on by, he just comes in, Just drops the bag. Just drops the bag. I also saw Sports 1440 recently had a drop off of Wilmer.
Oh,
I know, dude.
what the hell?
Pretty jealous.
So we have
pretty
to go
envious.
down over there, eh? Because he has Trent. Hey, Trent, if you're watching,
Boys could use some jerky. With
I'm
their
going to
beers.
be in the office quite a bit this week, and I could take some home.
So we talked about it. It's obviously the return of Zach Hyman. You need to know, Bert. Let's pull up the projected lineup. What we saw earlier at morning skate. There it is on your screen. A Matthew Savoy with Connor McDavid and the Zach attack. Your second line, Vasily Podkolzin with Leon and Jack Roslovic, going to stay the same. And there's a demotion there. Andrew Mangiapane, third line with Adam Henrique and Trent Frederick. And your fourth, Matthias Janmark, the heart and soul of the Edmonton Oilers, with Noah Philp and Curtis Lazar. Your deep pairing staying the same. Ekholm with Bush, Nurse with Wallman, Brett Kulak with Alec Regula. So after the Oilers lost Stetcher, brought back Hyman, I believe they are currently $212,000 under the cap. But I don't think that includes Ryan Nugent-Hopkins or Kasperi Kapanen in that situation. There you see it on your screen, courtesy of our friends from Puckpedia. What do they do when one of them returns? I have no idea. This is a pregame show, and I can't figure that one out for you. That's why you got to tune in.
Talk
to
about on
Oilersnation
the
every
ice,
day.
not off the ice.
Yeah, okay. We're ice guys. We're ice guys. This will be the first of two meetings this season between the Oilers and the Carolina Hurricanes. Next one, Rogers Place, March 6th. As we've mentioned before, in 2026, the Oilers do not travel to the Eastern Conference anywhere on the East Coast. That's pretty sick as the season's going to move along. Last year, both teams split this. They went 1-1. And then tonight, we're going to get our pal Stuart Skinner. He's going to be in the crease. 6-4-3 record this year, 2.75 with an .889 save percentage. In his career against Carolina, he is 1-1-1 with a 3.44 goals against, but a .905 save percentage. Here's to hoping. Here's to believing.
Above 900.
That's all we can ask. That's all we can ask. Hurricanes, for them, they're 12-5-0 on the season, second in the Metro, fourth in the entire NHL. They got 24 points on the season. They are red hot right now. So they had won 4 in a row. They dropped the game. And then, obviously, they won last night, beating the Vancouver Canucks in overtime winner. It felt dirty doing it for another team, but against the Vancouver Canucks, that's how I
That was
justified
a
it
good
there
game
in my
last
head.
night. That was. Did you catch any
I
of that
got
game?
some of it. I caught some of it.
I caught most of the game. First period and most of the second. And it's funny that you mentioned how bad that power play is for Carolina, because if you watched it last night, you went, "Oh, hello!" Because right after that Seth Jarvis penalty, 5 seconds onto the power. Because I shouldn't say penalty because it was Svechnikov's stick that hit Jarvis in the face. But then I forget who it was. Actively cross-checking him as Jarvis was already going down. So it was already a bit of a controversial play. 5 seconds into the power play, puck finds Svechnikov and hammers it bar down. Hey, it's funny you mentioned how bad that power play is because they did not look that bad.
That's why you can't be taking a team like this very lightly. They are a wagon. Also, you know who scored in that game last night? Taylor Hall.
Yeah, which is also, we're going to get
totally
into
forgot he was on the Carolina Hurricanes.
fourth liner.
Hell of a fourth liner.
Hey, fuck. When was the last time a first overall pick was a fourth liner?
I mean, at what? How old is he? Probably
Dale
like
Yakupov.
I was gonna say, but post, it's been done before, so maybe. Let's be nice to Taylor Hall. I think he has 9 points on the season thus far, but yeah, it's been quite fall off. Also, you're not gonna like this. This is a fucked up stat. So, in the second half of back-to-backs at home, the Carolina Hurricanes since 2022, 2023, 17-2-4.
Whoa!
On the second half.
What?
Back-to-backs. That was in the Tony Brower video this morning.
How is that possible?
I had to rewind it, and I was like, what the hell? So maybe, either way, we'll continue to move along. Seth Jarvis, he's out, or game time decision. We actually should probably know right away.
They're coming onto the ice right
exactly. It'll happen soon. Feel bad for him. Sounds like he avoided any major injury to his eye, face, whatever you want to say. And then, hey, that's good for Team Canada. You think Seth Jarvis is making Team Canada again?
Yes,
I do.
I am such a huge Seth Jarvis guy. Oh, I love Seth Jarvis. Great guy on the like off the ice, but he's a guy who does a little bit of everything. He's just such a spark plug type of guy. I think he's kind of similar to what people imagine Nail Yakupov could have been. Actually, no, that's a lie because he plays defense. So scratch that.
How many times are we gonna bring up Nail Yakupov?
I don't know, but
Drink every
there's already
time.
been there's been too many Nail Yakupov references, and I am a Nail Yakupov guy. Had Nail Yakupov jersey when he got drafted.
When you're drinking, you go back to a dark place. That dark place is Nail Yakupov.
Bring back Anton Landry.
Freddie Anderson, I believe last I checked, was the expected goaltender for the Carolina Hurricanes tonight because Kochetkov started last night against the Vancouver Canucks. Freddie on the year, 5-4-0 record, 3.00 goals against with an .892 save percentage. And then, Bert, I looked it up earlier. It's alarming. Freddie Anderson's career numbers against the Edmonton Oilers in his career. He is 18-3-2 with a 2.27 goals against and a .925 save percentage. No shutouts, though.
Hey,
no shutouts
you
there. I
just
checked
said
that.
it. Oh,
For him, in
thank
his
you.
case, got another beer delivered right in front of us. We're ahead of pace right now.
we are.
We're
Oh my
9 minutes
God.
ahead of pace.
I
Let's set the
didn't
record.
realize there were
Let's set the
30
pace
minutes
car.
into the show.
Freddie Anderson, he's obviously going to be very tough to beat tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. All right, play along in the chat. What's your storyline? What's your key to victory? How many beers have you downed in the first 32 minutes of this show? Me and my storyline, like, it kind of felt like the last one, Columbus. Remember I said, I was like, I'd like to ask for his full 60 minutes. This is going to be a rock fight. I would like to see the Edmonton Oilers play a consistent game, but I know who they're going up against tonight. And I just read you those numbers from Freddie Anderson. So it's an any means necessary type win again here as the Oilers. This is only game 3 of their 7-game road trip. They're going to be back in Buffalo on Monday. Then you get Washington. Then a second half of back-to-back. You're going to have to play the Tampa Bay Lightning, rounding it out with the goddamn Florida Panthers. So this is arguably the hardest matchup out of the 7-game road trip. It's not going to come easy tonight. I do think Stuart Skinner might have to make some miraculous saves tonight in this hockey game. I think this is one that I have labeled, Stu, you got to be big. You got to be the star here because this Carolina team, second in the NHL in shots on goal, third in goals per game. They're going to be ripping them. Nobby talked about it. Let me burp. Thank you. On Pregaming, I saw his pregame interview, and he basically mentioned this Carolina Hurricanes team is so aggressive. They are on you in your own end. They will hem you in. They will attack from everywhere. They are relentless. So I think your last wave of defense, Stuart Skinner, might have to be big tonight. Looking for a big game from Stuart Skinner. That's kind of my key to victory and my storyline. Any means necessary.
Yeah, I mentioned this on After Dark last night, or last show, I should say. I know the Oilers lost, but last game there were a lot of things that you could take away and just be like, okay, let's start building on this. I think this is one of those games that you're just like, okay, let's build on the thing. Game, and I'm not expecting a win. Again, I'm a very passive guy in the early parts of the regular season. Yes, you want points. You want to bank points as much as you can. It's not the end of the world when you lose. Guys, we are on game 20 of the regular season. When I go and put in the podcast at the end of every game, at the end of every show, and at the end of last season, when I was starting to put 100s, I sat there and went, oh, remember game 20?
No.
So, the important thing about these types of games right now is just building. It's great to see a win. It's fantastic to see a win. Obviously, you need wins. You're not going to go and lose every game and be like, yeah, but remember all this stuff that we could have built on? You need to build on those, get those wins. And I think this is just that game where you sit there and go, okay, Zach Hyman's back in our lineup. Let's see what he brings back into our lineup. Let's see how our lineup looks when he is on that top line, on that power play with Matt Savoy. Now the Oilers can go nuclear again. They can have McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman You don't have Nugent Hopkins. So if you do go nuclear, what does that look like? How does everybody? I think this is just kind of a let's see what we have kind of game. And then again, just kind of move forward, try and get those points. You want to win these games in November. Obviously, they're still important, and you want points early on in the season when you can catch people. But let's see what you have. That's all I want to see is just progress from the positive things that you had in Columbus.
It's always a fun game to play, but especially now that Zach Hyman is back, you look at this roster, you look at this lineup, and I just want to just move the. Chris Knobloch must be salivating at the fact he can roll out 26
He
different
must
lineups
not be
a
able to
game.
sleep because he's just sitting there like the
Oh my
Zach
God.
Galifianakis.
All the combos.
Oh,
Yeah, the
absolutely. And Nuge is going to come back. Kasperi
Kapanen's going to come back. Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
No,
That's something else.
absolutely.
Bad doesn't happen, but you got to be excited. If I didn't find myself today going, well, you could do that, and then I mean, like,
Could you? Where
dude,
can you find a trade?
And then at one point, I was like, "Can you just play 5 defensemen? Is that possible?"
What's
And
another
I'm
defensive forward?
like, dude, just whatever.
Let's
we'll
go
figure it out.
13-5.
Should we play Boucher forward? Like the chat always says?
Regula sucks. Don't play him. Don't play him.
I'll pull it up one more time. The projected roster tonight for the Edmonton Oilers, as we saw earlier in Morning Skate. Once again, your top line: Matthew Savoy with Connor McDavid and Zachary Martin Hyman. Pods with Leon and Jack Roslovic. Andrew Mangiapati with Adam Henrique and Trent Frederick. Matthias Janmark with Noah Philp and Curtis Lazar. Your deep pairings: Ekholm with Bush, Nurse with Wallman, Brett Kulak with Alec Regula. So, one guy you notice he's in a different spot tonight. That's one Andrew Mangiapane. He had a very hot start to the season for the Edmonton Oilers. 3 points in 3 games. But since then, I think it's fair to say that the shine has worn off a little bit. I hate plus minus as a stat, but I feel like in longer stretches, it makes more sense to me, especially if it supports my eyes. Apparently in the last 15 games, Andrew Mangiapane is minus 15. In his last 4 games, he doesn't have a point. And in that 4-game stretch, he is minus 9. It has not gone well for him up in that role. So tonight, he's going to go back down to the bottom 6, play with Rico and Freddie, which is awesome, because that means Zach Hyman's going to be back. And wow, boys, I love me some Andrew Mangiapane, the bread man, manja. He started out hot, I think maybe scoring a little bit out of his shoes there. It was one shot per goal. All he needed was one shot in a game to get a goal. And I just think he is much more of a third line guy that chips in offense, your 10 to 15 goals per season. And in this role is exactly where I think he should be. Probably should have been to start the season, but obviously no Nuge, no Zach Hyman. What are you going to do? He's the next man up. This is the role that I think Andrew Mangiapane can fully flourish in. And I think it's going to be great for guys like Adam Henrique and Trent Frederick, who's been struggling to find his offensive capabilities this season, offensive pulse, I might even say. Bert, thoughts on Andrew Mangiapane? You agree? He's not a first-line winger to play with Connor McDavid. That's not the Monge man. That's not the bread man. But man. Third line left wing, that is much more his spot, much more his speed.
No, yes, 100%. But when he was brought in on July 1st, that's the spot that everybody was talking about him being in. It wasn't yes, you sign in Edmonton. If you're a free agent on July 1st, everyone's going to sit there and go, well,
imagine him on shooter, 97 shooter.
Absolutely. 97 shooter. I get to sit there and I might be able to play with Connor McDavid. I might be able to play with Leon Draisaitl. I might be able to. I'm not going to finish that joke. But this is the spot that you expected Andrew Mangiapane to be in. Just go out there, be a checker. Make up for the mistakes that you've been in. Because, again, everybody's going to make mistakes. Everybody's going to have those days. So all you're going to have to do, you didn't get that. That's awesome. He's too old for Hannah Montana. Just go and correct the mistakes that you made in that last game. And make sure that you let everybody know that this is the type of player you are. There's been so much chatter about Andrew Mangiapane and you're a winger for the Edmonton Oilers that signed on July 1st. That means you're going to fail. I have been a stout Andrew Mangiapane fan. He has scored a couple of goals here for the Oilers. Yes, he has made mistakes.
There's been a dip-off recently.
Absolutely. I completely agree. 82-game season. There's going to be stretches. everybody was Connor Brown's biggest fan. He didn't score until game 65. We've seen goals from him. We've seen flashes of good things from Mangiapane. Let's be patient. Let's see. Again, this is a game where you see where your pieces fit. That's all you can do.
Yeah, we can't really make a map for anybody this season. I was just looking through for if anybody still had 0 goals.
Did
You mentioned
anybody?
Connor Brown,
Alec
Like,
Regula?
Brett Kulak,
Bomb?
and
Sorry.
Janmark and Kapanen.
I'm kidding.
But I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
I'm
It's not
also
gonna be the
kidding
same.
about calling Regula a bum. I just really want to play Dragula by
Oh my
Rob Zombie when he scores. Slam in the back of my Regula. That's all I
That
want.
actually was fantastic delivery.
know.
Let's go
Thank
now
you.
to our starting goaltender report, which is brought to you by the Dogpatch Nation Night Out, folks. It's happening Saturday, November 22nd. We're gonna be here at Dogpatch. So what is that? That's in 7 days.
7
That's
days.
7 days.
Next
Come on
Saturday.
down to Dogpatch. It's gonna be an early pre-gaming. We're gonna watch some hockey against the Florida Panthers. Emotions will be high for us here. You can also get one of those meatball subs because I think
Oh,
everybody needs to enjoy one of those. We're gonna be down here, the entire Nation crew, drinking some beers. We're gonna pregame. We're gonna postgame, and then, I mean, me, you, and Coombsy might have our own thing going on over there. I think we're gonna go out, probably some other bars, do some other things. I'm on down. The way I'm selling it is that it's like you're doing the Nation vacation in Edmonton with the crew in Edmonton, and we're just all like, it's like, the night before the hockey game when you're on the Nation vacation. You all
Yeah.
just want to hang out, go hit dinner at this spot, go over here to drink there. Come on down. It's going to be an awesome time. Bert, you excited for next Saturday?
We did this last year for it was Christmas themed. It was unbelievable. One of the best nights of the year. Just everybody coming down. I can't believe that. I was actually very curious. I was thinking about
I had
that
to look
today.
that up.
Which we'll get to that in a sec. Let me talk about my experience. For fuck's sake. No,
I'll guess my beer.
it was one of the best nights of the evening or of the season. It was just everybody being here, such an intimate thing. You get to bounce around table to table, talk to everybody. The game was on. The game that we watched last year was the game that the Oilers pummeled
The
Minnesota Wild. It was fantastic. Travis Dermott's last game as an Edmonton Oiler, in case everybody remembers that. No, it was great. I cannot wait for this.
Nation Night Out. Just checked it at nationgear.ca. There are 4 tickets left, low stock. So run, don't walk right now if you don't want to miss out on an awesome time down here at Dogpatch. But Bert, hit it for me. Tail the tape between the 2 goaltenders.
We don't have the goalies.
Oh, wait, we don't?
It's been
Oh,
a
yeah,
day.
that's right. Oh, that's right. That's fair enough.
But we have
Well,
Pickard and Stewart.
Yeah, okay, let's take a look at that. Stuart Skinner, he's got an 889 right now with a 2.75. It was funny. Me and Brett were sitting upstairs pre-gaming, talking about, man, what do we mention about Stuart Skinner? And I just looked at you and I went, just fucking play well. just please. Tonight's the night where I thoroughly think the Edmonton Oilers are going to need it. The Hurricanes love to rip pucks. They love to score goals. On most nights, the Hurricanes are scoring 4 a night. So the Oilers, are going to need to defend well in front of their netminder. We heard Zach Hyman talk about it. What's the one thing you can do? Protect the slot there in front of the Edmonton Oilers goaltenders, because even he has eyes and has seen that the Oilers have sometimes left their netminders out to dry. Here's to praying, here's to hoping, because I think Stu is going to be in tough tonight against this Hurricanes offense.
Yeah, no, what I do like you mentioned earlier with Zach Hyman, is that they have realized that they have let that slot open. And as much as you want to wish your goalie makes a save here or there, sometimes it's just not feasible. Sometimes when you're letting players out in the slot wide open with no battle whatsoever, there's nothing really you can do. It's a practice shot. Like it's a shot you receive in practice. So you just have to play better from your goaltenders. I think we have had a lot of saves, big saves, timely saves from Stuart Skinner specifically. I wanted to say the Oilers goaltenders, but Calvin Pickard has not had those timely saves yet this year.
No.
Stuart Skinner has. And so I think you have to see a couple of those tonight. I think it's going to be a run and gun type of game. I think there's going to be a couple moments where you sit there and go, oh, I wish so-and-so made this play. I wish so-and-so made this play. I wish Skinner made this save. Be patient.
Be patient. Be patient.
It's
Tonight,
going to be one of those games.
tonight might not be the night that you wanna do
Yeah.
that. But hey, then on the other side, it's Freddie Anderson. Always just baffles me. It's like, why are certain goaltenders? Why do they just own teams? We've asked Evan Dubnik before. Why do you own this guy? What is it about this building? What is it about? Not even the building, the uniform colors against this certain team. Freddie Anderson, 18-3-2 career record against the Edmonton Oilers, 2.27 goals against average with a 925 save percentage. Those numbers are fucking nuts, and that is no small sample size by any regard. However, he is old. Brett, also, out of spite, you know who I benched tonight for my fantasy team on Yahoo Sports? One Freddie Anderson,
too.
buddy. Fuck you, bud.
I did too. I put in Joseph Wool.
You're getting pumped, brother. You're getting pumped tonight.
Pumped.
You're getting pumped. Thoughts on Freddie Anderson? How's he? Why does he own the Oilers? We discussed. Maybe it's just from the Canadian season.
Well,
The
yeah,
Canadian division.
but I don't even feel like, did Toronto beat us that bad? Like, I just don't understand where Freddie would have got those numbers. But I do like Freddie is always a scary goaltender to go up against because he's always been quietly such a good goaltender. Like, he makes a lot of saves. Is that
That's
the
Freddie's career. 0 shutouts.
wow? Zero shutouts. Hey, there's a goal tonight in there. There's a goal.
Get
in
one
there
tonight, baby.
boys.
We're getting one tonight.
No, I just don't know. He's just always been a quietly good goaltender. Like, just and that just goes for not against the Oilers or just against the Oilers in general. He's always just been a very quietly good, stable goaltender. And I think every single time you take a look at numbers for him, you go, "Oh wow, okay, yeah." No, I think just one of those quiet guys.
Lance Kane said, "Damn, Brett, we should start a band." Before
Okay.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm so in.
I can sing, play the guitar. I can learn.
I'll just be a groupie.
I'm an artist.
Nick Sandin says Stuart Skinner's going to chant her as in Lisa Simpson. Do you get that reference? You definitely don't, but I do. So that's fantastic. Dave B is in, and he says this is the type of game Skinner holds the team in. It's how the team responds. Amen, brother. Also, Dude Guy 77 said, don't forget to like. I agree. It always helps us out. That helps us pay the bills. Let's go now to the away lineup for the Carolina Hurricanes. And before we do that, we got to talk about the Jasper Pond Hockey Tournament going down January 23rd to the 25th of 2026. You can sign up at nationgear.ca. Teams are still available. Teams up from 4 to 8. So it's 4-on-4 ODR puck. Dude, it looks dope every single year. It snows out there. And then, I mean, the hockey's one thing. Like, that's the other part about, like, nation vacations. Like, yeah, going to the Oilers game's sick and all that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's just hanging out every day, all day for an entire weekend at the JPL, things like that. So, hey, come on down. We've covered it. Brett and I are envious as shit, brother.
I went to the JPL for the first time. Start throwing shit. I went to the JPL for the first time this March, whenever the trade deadline was this year. It is the most beautiful place in the country. It is wonderful. So if anyone's looking for anybody for vibes, I'll show up. Please.
Once again,
Please.
groupie. Can be an excellent groupie.
Absolutely. I'll be a groupie. There's an Oilers game that weekend, is there not, as well? I'm pretty
I believe
sure.
so. Yeah.
Pre and post game's gonna have to happen.
Should we just go down and get like our own
We might
random
have to
hotel and do the
crash.
classic bump in? Like,
Yeah.
oh
my
you
god!
guys are here
No,
too.
way. We have the hall
Oh my
booked. We're
God.
gonna do pre-gaming from there. You guys should come. Oh, this is great.
The commitment to the bit would actually be legendary. Also, Nick's in. He says, that's why I love you, Bordzy. He loves I was thinking Bart.
That's your name.
It's shut up. Shut up. Hack the bone, Nick. That's the line. That's the quote there for one Lisa Simpson. Pull it up. What we expect to be.
That makes sense.
Now, granted, we did just get some news.
Oh,
Seth
no.
Jarvis is officially going to be in the lineup. He's taking line rushers, but Brett,
He's in his
this.
lineup.
Get this. He's wearing a tinted visor.
Yes,
Motherfucker. He
I
gained
love
extra swag
tinted
points.
visors.
He gained extra swag points against the Edmonton Oilers. So what we've got, it's going to be Svechnikov, Aho, Jarvis, Nick Ehlers, Stankoven with Jackson Blake, Carrier, Stahl, Martinuk, Taylor Hall, Jankowski is actually Mark Jankowski. Going to be the 4C tonight. Is that the same
That's
as over
the
there?
same lineup.
Okay, beautiful. And then goes to spare with Walker, Miller with Nystrom, Nikishin with Riley. Seth Jarvis, guy's a dog. Guy's an absolute dog. I appreciate everything about him. I know what I appreciate too. is that his buddies are still that close to them that he's letting them come
yeah.
to those things. I so relate to that of like, if I were to ever do that, if one of my buddies would, oh, you'd be dragging around 15 other dudes all the way up to the top of the NHL. Jarvis is unreal, but you look at that top 6 for the Carolina Hurricanes. It is absolutely loaded, brother. They got, I mean, just look at the names. I guess let me ask you there, who's your player to watch? For me, it's somebody in that top 6.
It's actually not for me. It's a third pairing defenseman, Alexander Nikishin. He came over from Russia.
Prospect, right?
Yes, young kid, just absolute beast. He was a guy heading into fantasy late into last year. I'm like, I would stay up until 1 a.m. waiting until they updated and put him into Yahoo. He is an unbelievable defenseman. He's got some size. He can move his feet. He was a leader on his team last year in Russia, and he came in and played his first NHL games in the NHL playoffs last year. He's been very impressive every single time that I've watched him, even this season. Now that he's getting time, I know that it says third pairing on Daily Faceoff, but he's getting more time than that and having more of an extended role as well. They trust this guy. They wanted this guy to be in their lineup a lot last year as well. They really, really were very, very persistent on bringing him over to North America. This is a guy to watch. He might be a very big future for any team.
He's
that he
averaging already just a shade over 20 minutes a night. Time on ice. I saw also Michael Menzies, who writes awesome shit, pre-scout reports on Oilersnation.com before every game. Right there. For those in keeper fantasy drafts, I'm sure you're well aware.
Hello.
The guy knows his stuff.
I'm in a lot of keeper fantasy drafts.
You're looking at a guy.
You're looking at him.
For me, my player to watch, I'm going to go with Jackson Blake. Like, there's your obvious Sebastian Aho, you know Svechnikov, you already know Jarvis, but Jackson Blake is really coming into his own. Former 4th-round pick, played North Dakota State, obviously the son of Jason Blake, played a lot in the NHL
He looks
last
just
year.
like him.
I know, it's kind of
That's
crazy.
weird.
Dude, you know, you talk about niche players that used to love and shell back in the day?
Yeah.
Jason Blake,
Yeah.
brother.
They said
Andy McDonald as well was
Yes.
another one for me.
they were talking about Jackson Blake the other day. Another game I was watching. They're like, he's the son of former NHLer Jason Blake, and we're listing off Jason Blake's stuff. I'm like, dude, it's Jason Blake.
Dude, I fucking know Jason Blake.
Prototypical 3C, just fucking great player. I'm
Absolutely.
sorry. I love Jason Blake.
I like that we share that. Give me some knocks. Give me some knocks. Last year he had 17 goals. This year he's off 12 points in 17 games to start the season. Filling that role in that top 6. But once again, you look at that. Svechnikov, Aho, Jarvis, Oilers, who I haven't even mentioned, who's been their big pickup this past summer. They kind of struck out on some bigger names, whatever, and then you land on Nick Ehlers. You're not going to complain about landing a guy in Nick Ehlers. He's awesome. Then you got young Logan Stankoven, Jackson Blake. And as you mentioned, they were all down there on the 4th line. We know ex-Oiler revenge goals, so I got my eye on him for sure. But my player to watch, double revenge game.
Yeah. Oh, back to back.
Change the parlay. Change the parlay. Nah, it's too late. Let's go now to Bordzy's Bankroll, brought to you by Bet365. Download the app today because whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. So we're going tonight. Already placed this one, but I guess it's slightly different because the power play points on Bet365, they will not let you parlay. But you see that face on the very far right side of that graphic. So tonight I'm going with Connor McDavid 2+ points, where Brett blew my absolute mind. Plus 115 odds for McDavid to get 2+ points with the return of Zach Hyman. I understand the Carolina Hurricanes are a great team. They're great defensively. Freddie Anderson owns the Oilers. But plus 115, no matter what, you see that, you hammer that responsibly for 97 in Connor McDavid. The next one, Jack Roslovic to get 2+ shots on goal. He has hit that in 5 straight games, and over that 5-game stretch has 14 shots on goal. It's minus 200, but you'll like that one. And then the final one, look at the photo. I honestly told you until I made the graphic again today, I looked and I went, I totally forgot that happened to Zach. He's got the shit kicked out of him last season. But there he is.
Like the nose cast too.
Stop.
Such a
Stop,
weird
stop.
thing.
Zach Hyman 1+ power play point at plus 400. So I like that one separately. You then can parlay the first two with the Zach Hyman just 1+ regular point, and that comes out to plus 320 on Bet365. Bert, which of those 3 bets do you like the most?
I am, hey, 97 always scores a couple points when you need him to in games like this. I'm surprised by the line that they gave for this, but I'm sitting Jack. I'm riding the hot hand. I've been a big Jack Roslovic guy. Even when I went to ball hockey last night. The talk of the locker room was Jack Roslovic. And so I'm following with Jackie Boy, Jack Roslovic.
Jack Roslovic, Mr.
Even though
always
there's no
has
block
his head
shots.
up. Mr. always looking to make a play. You got any spiders you want to cook up?
I'm literally about to make one right now.
Yeah, I like
yeah.
that, Bert. Final thing, let me ask the folks in the chat what are your score predictions. Give me an anytime goal score. Let me know what you're riding with on Bet365. Bosch is in. Says, I'm loving a Hyman anytime point tonight. The Kane slot better be ready. I believe it's currently minus 130. May have shifted to minus 135 for a Hyman regular point. But I love that. Oh, my God, you know what I love? Oh, no, not that.
Oh.
That. Veronica's back.
Yeah!
Veronica's back. She says, I love Connor McDavid. She says, hi, Bordzy. Hi, Brett. Hi, Veronica. We miss you. We love you. It's not the same without her in here as much this year. Veronica, you're here to stay. All right. We miss you. I love you. McSavendry says 4-3 OT with the Zach Hyman goal. Jake Wallman popped in to let us know I'll be scoring in overtime tonight, boys. Lance Kane, 6-2 for the Oily boys. Who's the anytime goal scorer, though? Matthias Janmark, Lance? Put you down for that one. Absolutely. Bob Stofford, I like that Mr. Always heads up, just like the kids' books. Justine. Veronica. She's back, baby. She's back. Nick McPherson also said 13-leg money line parlay. Let's go. Responsibly, only bet what you're willing to lose. Feels weird for me tomorrow for NFL football. I just don't really have any skin in the game. I don't got any skin in the game. It's going to be a nice... Why are you so envious of us having the best record in the NFL?
I'm not. My team won the World Series. We won the World. My team won.
They bought it. They bought it. They
Shut
bought
up.
the World Series.
Shut up. They won the greatest World Series we have seen in this since the St. Louis Cardinals won the World Series. 2008, 2011.
David Freese.
David Freese, baby.
Good one.
Fantastic. That was a great World Series. This one was great. And I still haven't talked about it as much as you're talking about a Week 9 Patriots game against the worst team in the league.
It's Week 11.
Oh,
Week 11.
sorry. They played the Jets.
I'm sorry when I see greatness in one Drake May at the end of the day. You know, you just
in your
know.
pants.
You know when
Let
you
me
know.
finish my spider.
You know when you know. Yeah, let people know when you know. Because for me, I think I'm going to go with tonight 3-2 Edmonton Oilers victory with a Brett. Say it for me.
Overtime winner.
And the overtime winner, I think it's going to laugh at me. I think it's going to be Andrew Mangiapane who finds a way to get it done. Gets a weird shift in overtime, finds a way to get it done. I think him rolling down to the third line is a spot that he's going to flourish in and he's going to love. Bert, give me the spider.
This has 5 legs right now, but right now I need more shots. I think I have McDavid 2+, Jack Roslovic 1+ point, Zach Hyman 1+ point, Jack Roslovic 2+ shots on goal, Jake Wallman 2+ shots, and Darnell Nurse 2+ shots.
I was just going to say Darnell Nurse shots recently.
Yeah.
Feels like it's picking up. That's another area I could see some people.
I'm wanting a.
You don't have to make it a spot.
No, I know, but I want a Savoy point, but they're not giving me a Savoy point.
Bet365, we love you, but we would like to be able to wager responsibly, of course, on a Matthew Savoy point. All right, folks, we love you all. Bert, final score prediction, anytime goal score?
I will go with. It's probably. I don't want to be right. Let's say that. Let's go 4-3 Oil. Matthew Savoy goal. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I just want Matthew Savoy to get a point.
I'm going to need you to finish that before I can sign off on the airwaves. Folks, we asked the question, can the boys finish off a sixer of beer in 60 minutes of here on Pregame with Bordzy? And the answer was a resounding yes. But we already knew that. That was lovely. I appreciate you all. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to our viewers. Thank you to Bert, producing, co-hosting. Thank you to Dogpatch, So excited to get me a meatball sub. We'll be live right here on the Oilers Nation YouTube channel right after the hockey game for a little bit of Oilers Nation After Dark, where I can only imagine Brett and I will have had a couple of more suds throughout the evening, and I'm sure there will be some fireworks at the end of that. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Good luck on the Bet365 Battlegrounds, and we will talk in a bit. Good luck.